Okay, they have started with the water cannon again. Now, Morgan Russo, you asked a question on the last video about are they going to save the heads? The answer to that question, the long and the short of it is they were supposed to try. About not knowing all the history of this building, we wish we did. You know, we do know when it was built. We know that one of our cleaners moved here in 1967, but other than this being the Masonic Lodge here in town, we don't really know a lot of the history of it other than, you know, dates.
The grocery store at one time, the post office was on the right-hand side, a grocery store on the left, and several other buildings. Very first, that's why the city numbers are laid out the way they are, because that was started at this post office.
Right. So hopefully you guys can hear Rick here as he's talking, and we'll go back over that here in just a little bit, you know, maybe when the water cannon shuts off. Call him. Go ahead and call him real quick. Yeah. Yeah, my dad was calling in here a minute ago. That's what the ringing was. Rick's going to try and call him back real quick. But now the piece that was in the center, the head that was in the very center of this building, did get blown into the roof there a few minutes ago, so we don't know if it got damaged or not. There's still two of them left on the building, and a lot of the tin work is up there.
They just knocked the center piece down, and they're hitting the other two now, and they're all going to be destroyed. They have no respect for this.
But
no, it's good. It's good. They just didn't try. They're hitting right in between the other two. They're going to come crashing down on the sidewalk. There goes one out now. That one fell in.
okay, so now two of the heads have fallen into the roof area of the building. The one from the dead center, and then one of the ones on the left. But you see the stream of water is going on out into Market Street and everything, and they have to keep rebuilding the pressure. They've had to cut the water cannon off a couple of times. But
yeah. I told that to the mayor, and he said, I know that. He said, "This breaks my heart."
Maria Adams, yes, you're talking a 121-year-old building. But also these water cannons have got a lot more force than what people realize. So yeah, it is. There is a lot of force coming through from that water cannon. All right, Rick. Well, now we got it's a little quieter right now, and it was for a second.
Yeah.
But earlier you said that on one side of this building was the U.S. Postal Service, which
on the right-hand side.
That's right there in the corner. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and point out there with you.
Well, right
there.
Right there.
That is where the post office was, and then there was a grocery store on the other side. And as Rick was saying, this is why that the addresses in town are set up the way they are. The courthouse is actually sitting at 100 East Market Street, and the Masonic Lodge is 100 West Market Street. The only other separate division on that is over where Black Patch Grill and Princeton Drug is. They are on West Main, but where Ratliff Hardware used to be, that would have been East Main. Yes, they did get the electricity cut off earlier this morning. The building actually started collapsing sometime around 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So, like I said, they've had several hours here to get the utilities cut off and things like that. And we've got again, I've got Rick Blackburn here with me, and as you guys remember when we covered the Leroy footage, Rick was sending me information back and forth at that time. You know, he's very knowledgeable of Princeton and its history, as is my dad, Robert Ward. We've spoken with him a little bit this morning too. But like I said, the building, Laura, is 121 years old. It was built in 1899. Looks like we had the third head go into the roof of the building. So actually, it's sitting right there in the window.
Yep.
See it?
Yep.
Hopefully they can knock it back up in there without it falling out onto the street. But this is what we're looking at right now. You know, this is throughout my whole lifetime, this has been the home of Princeton 1 Hour Cleaners. The building is owned by Richard and Shirley Jones, and this has been where their business has been since 1967. Again, as Rick said earlier, it was the home of the U.S. Post Office, as well as a grocery store at one point. There's, you know, a lot of history here in downtown Princeton that people don't realize that we have. But keep sending your questions in, and let's see, Vicky Harmon, it's 121 years old. And then what we'll do is we will keep giving you guys updates here for a little bit. We're going to take a break, kind of get out of the elements for just a few minutes and see if we can't find out a little more information while we're off the air. That's what we've been doing when we take these little breaks. We try to get some information and everything, and that way, you know, we can give you the full story of what's going on. But this is Tom Ward live for the Banner newspaper, downtown Princeton, Kentucky, at West Court Square and West Market Street.